Welcome to the MSTieCast. I'm your host, Toby Mobius.
And I'm Justin Toner. How y'all doing?
Yes, how are you all doing indeed? For some of you, it may be your first time listening to the MSTieCast, as, if you're not aware, we are now on the X-Pound Reviewer Network. It's xpound.proboards.com. Really awesome guys, and we want to thank them for letting us into their group.
Yeah, this is pretty neat stuff. Allows us to be able to spread out the show a little bit more to some more people. It's really cool.
It's very, very cool. So, we have a topic for the episode, but before we get into that, there's a little bit of news we didn't cover because we've been gone for about a month. The MST3K movie came out on DVD Blu-ray combo pack. I was not able to get my hands on it, sadly. I don't have the money right now. But Justin here was, so we've talked about the movie several times, but how was the quality on the Blu-ray transfer?
The movie looks pretty good. I mean, it's not like super pristine, but compared to watching the episodes on DVD, you can definitely see improvement because of that was done as a film and not recorded on videotape like MST3K was. So it does look really nice, and it sounds really good. But I was expecting that. The greatest thing about this, and that all the fans were excited for, is the amount of special features that Shell put into this set, and they're fantastic. They did 2 long features from Ballyhoo again. One was about Mike, Kevin, Jim, Trace, all talked about making the movie, and a couple other people are interviewed as well. And it's funny how on certain special features they give the warning, with the Universal does not endorse or the content of these special features, and because sometimes people may say not so nice things about certain companies or groups or actors and stuff, so they're trying to cover their butts saying but they let loose. They have some very not nice things to say about some of the things that Universal did to them during the process of making the movie, and you can understand why. Although they're happy they made it, it was not a fun experience. I mean, I think the worst part was that they basically were telling them that trying to control the riffs they were doing. There was Kevin talks about how they came up with a riff for when you first see the mutant creature in the movie. They came up with a very specific riff for it, and the Universal guys came back and said, no one's going to know that, and so they basically were forced to change riffs. They were getting censored, and so you're just like, wow, that's really bad. And of course, the infamous choice by Universal to put all their money into backing Pamela Anderson's Barbed Wire movie instead of MST3K, so it got hardly any promotion, wasn't shown in a lot of theaters, that kind of stuff. And I feel bad for the guys, talk about it. They wanted to do something, they wanted to do this, but they learned the hard way about having to work with Hollywood. But one of the other best parts though was the deleted scenes. They're not in the best quality, unfortunately. I don't know if some people probably are hoping that maybe they'll find better quality copies of this footage, because there's some really funny stuff that was cut out. They had to cut out certain riffing sections of the movie, and the 2 best things though was the very famous the meteor shower sequence that a lot of fans are aware of. I believe it was many years ago at one of the early MST3K conventions, they showed footage of this, and it was recorded by somebody. I think it's been on YouTube for a long time. The sequence is really funny. It's a shame that they were forced to cut it out of the movie, and also the other fun thing is the actual original ending to the movie, which is very different. I thought it was really funny. It's basically Servo distracts Forrester by saying that he's interested in joining, becoming evil and stuff, while Mike, Crow, and Gypsy use Servo's interocitor to beam down this, and it turns into the mutant from the movie to attack Dr. Forrester. And it's you have to watch it. It's better to watch it than for me to describe it. It's pretty funny, but it was really nice. It's another nice release from Shout. They really do a good job, not just with the quality of how the movie looks, but with all the special features. For fans who like them, who haven't gotten a chance to, or maybe haven't seen the movie, it's definitely a win all around to both watch the movie and then with all the special features. It was great. I was really happy about it. So thumbs up for me for that.
Okay, cool. If you haven't gotten a copy of the movie, you can get it on Amazon. You can buy it in a lot of retail stores, Best Buy, Movie Stop if you have one of those. You know, places where they would have DVDs you wouldn't find at Walmart, basically. Although you might be able to find it at like a Target, I guess. I don't know.
I got mine at Best Buy, so you can. But although they don't stock too much MST3K, Best Buy does stock at least a little. So
yeah, Best Buy is where I got my the only box set I own, the one with the Tom Servo. Amazon again is probably your best bet. Just do that unless if you don't want to go out and hunt for it.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to do. I am going to try and get it as soon as I can. I don't have a Blu-ray player, but it comes with a DVD. I can watch the. I assume like the extras are on the DVD.
Yeah, they're on both the Blu-ray and the DVD.
Okay.
So you don't. It's not like with some stuff that you see today from studios where they put all the good features on the Blu-ray and not on the DVD. Shout didn't do that,
Okay.
So it's like. So you don't get. So no, it's like if you don't have a Blu-ray player, don't worry about it. It's like you can watch the DVD and watch the movie and get all the special features.
Okay, cool. Yeah, Shout has been pretty good to Misties so far. I'm glad we have a DVD company like them.
Oh yeah, it's like I'm really excited for the next box set, the 25th anniversary set. It's got some good episode choices, and they're throwing in 2 more bonus episodes, Mitchell and the Brain That Wouldn't Die, which I think are good choices for an anniversary because of how important those episodes are.
What episodes are on the set? I forget. Besides Mitchell and the Brain.
It's season 1 episode Moon 02.
Okay.
The Day the Earth Froze, which fans have been wanting for a long time. It's the final Russo finish movie. All 4 of them now will be on DVD.
Right.
Season 8's The Leech Woman, and which I like that's a good one.
Yeah, that's
and
a good one.
A big surprise was they got their hands on Gorgo from season 9.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, because that one that's one is well known for, due to rights issues. After the first airing of that episode, Sci-Fi never aired it again. But thankfully, Dedicated Misties recorded it that day. If some of them hadn't, that could have been like a lost episode, like in like KT Mania level, kind of like no one knows where it is. I think it was only aired like twice, and that was it. And so people were always didn't think it was considered one of the least likely movies to get released into a box set. So that was a nice surprise that they worked that out.
Yeah, it's a very solid list.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty. And then when you got Mitchell, Joel's final episode. It's a 5-disc like the Gamera. The 5th one has Mitchell and Brain on it, which will also have apparently special features because they interviewed one of the actors from The Brain That Wouldn't Die, and one of the features listed is Joel talking about doing Mitchell his final episode, kind of like his farewell. So
awesome.
Between Joel's final and leading right into Mike's first, those are 2 good choices to throw in for celebrate the 25 years of the show. It's good choices.
Speaking of good choices or lack thereof, today's episode that we're discussing is King Dinosaur, and the reason for this is because last month I ran a contest on the Forest Crow discussion board discussing beat poems, done in the style of the opening host segment of the show.
Mm-hmm.
And there were some really good responses, and I'll read a couple of them a bit later. But, honestly, when I watched the episode, I knew that host segment was in there. I was kind of hoping they were going to do more with it because I gotta be honest with you guys, King Dinosaur is kind of a boring episode. I the short is pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
The host segments are great. It's like the bit where Forrester is crushed and he's like a little squished man on a platter. That's great.
That was funny.
Was it emotional scientist theater?
Yeah, yeah.
You know, the sketches are great. Or when Crow is like in contemplation.
Yeah,
like
he
wants
this,
to make a
like,
difference.
Yeah. After watching the short, X marks the spot.
Yeah, really good host segments, but just the movie is boring.
Oh, the movie itself, yeah, it's
Nothing happens.
For those who want to know just exactly what the plot of the movie is, it's basically it's a really low budget sci-fi adventure. Like, we're talking really low budget. These 4 astronauts land on this newly discovered planet called Nova that's apparently not too far from Earth. Remember this movie came out in 1955, so, and they encounter, it's filled with dinosaurs, but the dinosaurs are basically just stock footage of some certain animals and like an alligator and stuff, an armadillo. They use an armadillo. It's like you get a giant armadillo. And the so-called dinosaurs that they call like, oh, that's a dinosaur. It's actually just giant lizards.
Yeah, it's lizard stock footage.
Yeah, and which when you watch it, this is what this was the debut movie for director Bird-Eye Gordon, who was very well known to Misties for a lot of the movies that they riffed on that he directed.
Santa Claus immediately comes to mind.
Oh yeah, it's like when you see stuff like Beginning of the End and Earth versus the Spider, I think is one of the other ones, I think. And yeah, it's like he's like, I think he is the director whose movies they riffed on the most on MST3K. Oh, he was responsible for Amazing Colossal Man and its sequel, The Magic Sword, Village of the Giants. So yeah, it's like, oh, and Tormented too. Almost forgot Tormented. So it's like, yeah, they riffed on several of this guy's films, and he definitely liked doing the, enlarged kind of creature with the, using the trick photography and stuff. And
yeah,
it's all over.
He liked his King Kong ripoffs.
Oh yeah, he liked doing the giant. Yeah, he did. He really liked that kind of stuff. It's like you see that in this one, in Earth vs. Spider, and Beginning of the End, with the giant grasshoppers and stuff.
Yeah, he really likes that kind of thing, but
yeah.
Just everything in the episode is so dull.
Oh yeah, because like nothing really happens, and then it's like they supposedly are getting attacked by the monsters. It's like, and they have to, like the one guy gets attacked by the giant alligator, and it looks like he's like dead, and then the next scene he's like miraculously healed. It's like there's that kind of silliness.
It's one of the episodes where, to me, the riffing just couldn't really save the dullness of the movie. Like, and full disclosure here, I was pretty tired when I watched this. I had been up trying to fix my sleep schedule, and I watched it this morning, and I was struggling to stay awake. It was pretty dull, but I do have some good moments, but they're all from earlier in the movie, which is weird. When like the weird soundtrack comes on, it's like, and
there's some weird. They use some weird.
They use some weird, like almost jaunty music.
Mm-hmm.
Is it Kooky? Is it Kooky the Clown doing the soundtrack?
Yeah. So yeah, that. Yeah, there's some really weird music choices that Bird-Eye used in this movie. It's like you probably wonder, like, really, what?
Like my favorite riff through the whole thing is related to that, when there's like smoke coming out of a building, and they go, and Joel goes, our new pope is elected. It's Kooky.
Yeah.
Love that.
That was a good one. I kind of disagree. I actually like this one. Maybe it helped that I was more a little bit more awake than Toby was.
Maybe.
I felt I really like the riffing on this one, both that and the short. The short is actually a significant one because up to this point they had done serial stuff. They had done Commander Cody and the Phantom Creeps. The short in this episode, X Marks the Spot, is a pretty significant one because up until this point they had done serials on the show for shorts. They had Commander Cody during season 1, and earlier in season 2 they had done the Phantom Creeps with Bela Lugosi. This was the first of the these infamous educational kind of shorts, because X Marks the Spot is all about this guy who is a really reckless driver. He dies in a car accident and he ends up in basically traffic court heaven, and is like, being judged by this heavenly judge about how what a terrible driver he was. That he didn't look before pulling out from the side of the road, speeding, stuff like that, being reckless. It's all about, like, you need to be a better driver or else you'll be damned, something ridiculous like that. And it was wrote really well, and so this was like the first of like the real kind of beginning of like the shorts that MST3 that fans love, that kind of stuff. And I like the riffing on that. Now, I did enjoy the riffing on the movie. It's not like, I wouldn't call this like my favorite episode ever, but I thought it was good. There was a lot of really funny riffs. Like, one of my favorites is after they land on the planet, the one guy pulls out what looks like a blow dryer and is like moving it around like he's like scanning stuff, and Servo just goes, "Why is he blow drying the grass, guys?" And it just like that one really killed me because it looks like he's a blow dryer. It probably was.
In the name of me, said
I also love
God Judge.
Yeah. I also love how Crow gets annoyed by how they keep treating the giant lizard and other creatures like they're dinosaurs, and like at one point he just goes, "It's a lizard!" It's like just like like frustrated. I like it when the bots get frustrated.
Yeah, it's fun when the crew kind of snaps at the movie.
And of course they have the lemur stuff, which leads into one of the more infamous host segments, Joey the Lemur.
Oh, Joey the Lemur. And then he returns in Last of the Wild Horses.
Which is funny. I think they did that on purpose because although this movie was directed by Bert I. Gordon, it was produced by Robert Lippert, and he is the guy who directed Last of the Wild Horses. So I think that was done on purpose.
Right.
When it called back to that.
Plus, they had this prop; they might as well use it.
Yeah, really.
I want a Joey the Lemur puppet.
Well, how do you feel about Joey the Lemur, Toby? Do you like it, or some fans don't like this whole segment? It's like it's a love it or hate it whole segment.
It went on a bit too long, but I can't say I hate it. It was just generally really goofy.
Yeah, it's goofy. It provides. I was laughing a little bit at the end, but then it kind of like it felt like it was a joke that was dragged out a little too far.
Yeah, as I like how Joel doesn't even really try to ventriloquist. I don't know the proper verb for this. Mm-hmm. He doesn't try to be a ventriloquist at all. He just kind of does this puppet thing.
Yeah,
and he's not even like doing it very well, which is funny considering Joel is a ventriloquist. I enjoy the host thing. It just kind of comes across like Joel finally snapped.
Yeah, kind of like it reminds me of the I think they play with that later too, because a couple episodes later in like Godzilla vs. Sea Monster, it's like Joel's like looks like the bots are like he's suffering from space madness because he makes like all these like models and stuff, and he's all acting very not right in the head. So yeah. I guess maybe it was something they were playing with that season.
Maybe. Joel does say, well, when you've been stranded in space as long as I have.
Yeah.
I think that definitely was something they were going for in that season, which, makes sense.
Yeah, really. I mean, if you were trapped on a satellite in orbit and forced to watch bad movies every day, and your only companions are a bunch of wisecracking robots, I think your sanity would be kind of stretched a little bit.
I think Mike got it worse, though.
Oh,
at least Joel was, a tinkerer. He gave himself projects.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think Mike definitely suffered a lot more. Joel found ways to distract himself.
And Mike spontaneously became Captain Janeway.
Oh yeah.
Okay, whatever.
Whatever.
um,
Yeah, the whole segments in this one are pretty solid. I did like the invention exchange. Yeah, it's like Dr. Forster is building an elevator for some reason. Frank accidentally presses the button and he gets crushed. And it's like, all right, are you happy now? I'm the invention exchange.
I actually really want that big, what looked like cardboard wrench that Dr. Ref had at the beginning.
Yeah, that was great.
I kind of want to make one of those now out of like cardboard, like that I just have around. I think that'd be pretty funny. That'd be fun to have.
Yeah. I also like the final host segment where after the Crow just goes on one of those rants that every one of the characters have about how bad the movie is, and just his frustration at being subjected to all these Lippert movies. And then Joel tries to like do a skit about, and then the bot's like, no, he's not worth it. Don't like they shut him down before he can even do anything because they're just tired of Lippert. They're tired of Lippert movies.
Okay, well, because as I said, the opening host segment was a beat poetry kind of thing. I want to read the what won the contest.
Yeah, definitely.
And this is by Tarantulas. It's called Righting a Wrong. It's very short, but I think you'll dig it. Put down your popcorns, your preconceptions, and listen. We travel a glistening road that our fandom was wrecked on. The wish of every fan blocked from us by the man, the bane of every completist. Property only of elitists. It's a need to know even those who control want us kept out of control, out in the cold. Turkey Day, KTMA, travel back to that day. VCR in hand, we'd circulate the tapes across this land, and finally see the unwatchable, and lay waste to a claim made by those who don't know we're unstoppable. We'd sit on plaid couches, talk about the meals we'd long let cool, while invaders ran deeply into our collective conscience. Still in shock from the rush, like a million flashbulbs in our child eyes, we blink wildly, while Mysterions got their revenge one last time. Our mission to fandom done, we return, tapes in hand, and pass them out to everyone. No longer would people wonder. We'd stolen the fire and the thunder. A torn-out liver is the least we could pay. And what so long ago was fresh and new could be new again. Our next trip nets us green slime, man. Crazy.
Wow, that was actually really good for. I dug it, man. I dug it.
That was really cool. And for those who might don't know, he won a set of Incognito Cinema Warriors XP Season 1 episodes.
Nice prize.
And actually, if you're interested in getting Season 2 episodes, there is a contest going on right now on Forest Crow. You can go check that out. There will be a link in the show notes, so you can go check that out, see what they're doing.
Yeah, the contests on the boards are always fun. It's like those people get some free stuff. Whether it's, circulated episodes or stuff like from ICWXP. Who are pretty cool people.
Oh, awesome people. In fact, I need to get Rick on again at some point because he's just that cool.
Oh, definitely. It's like I missed out on that one. I'd like to be able to talk to Rick. He's a really cool guy.
Super cool. All right, so I think that about wraps it up for this episode.
I think you need to rewatch King Dinosaur again. Maybe you'll like it more.
I might.
But that's fine. It's like it's like. I enjoyed it a little bit more than Toby did, so that's the way it is sometimes.
I'll try and rewatch it again for our next episode, and I'll see if I have any improved thoughts on it. I might like it better when I have a clear head. I don't know. But generally speaking, I don't really care for the really, really low budget black and white sci-fi flicks. They just never really gel for me.
Mm-hmm.
I like the Ed Wood ones just because they're just so. Bleh.
Yeah.
They're so bad and they're so poorly acted. They kind of dig themselves up from it, and that would makes them bring their A game. But this was just kind of meh.
Yeah. It's definitely one of those it's a very dull movie, and in those kind of situations, either the riffing allows you to enjoy the episode or the riffing doesn't help. That's the way it is. All right.
So, you have any final thoughts?
No, just that it was nice to have an excuse to watch another episode I haven't seen before, and it was a good one for season 2. I mean, like some fans, a little, it's like this is the early part of the show, and they're still getting their groove, especially since this is right after Frank had joined the show and Kevin took over Servo. So
yeah,
they're starting to hit the stride at this point in season 2, and then it's like season 3 that just takes off. But I liked it for an early, especially for a season 2 episode. It's good. I thought it was good.
Yeah, it's good for a season 2 episode, but not. It wouldn't make my favorites list.
No, not mine either. No,
it wouldn't make my essential viewing list.
No, it was. I thought overall. I thought it was. It's a good solid one.
Yeah. All right. So, thank you very much all for listening. Again, if this is your first time listening from the X-Pound, check us out, MSTieCast.com, and you can email us at mailbag@MSTieCast.com. That's our new email address for the mailbag. Again, follow us on Twitter at MSTieCast, Facebook.com/MSTieCast, blah, 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 blah. Those. I post this on every episode. Thank you very much for listening. I'm Toby Mobius.
I'm Justin Toner.
Cookie.
We'll see you later, folks.
Now, poopy.